Target Trading Academy.
Good afternoon, everybody. Preston Vogl here at Target Trading Academy with today's Micros Market Recap. It's just after the close for the New York. It is 4:12 p.m. Eastern Time, Thursday, March 10th. Let's get into it with micro oil. Again, oil still very volatile. These bars are very large. Do not be deceived. Let's just go find one of these smaller bars here. Measure that off for you. 106.51 to 106.75. So just about 25 ticks or cents, however you want to call it. That's a large bar. You're talking $10 per penny as the exchange rate for movement in oil. It's $1 in the micros as it is a tenth of the market. But regardless, that is massive bars there. So we did start off inside of yesterday's range, huge range yesterday. I don't even know where the close was. It was that large. I think we opened above it. Yes, we did. We moved down, found resistance as it came and went through that HVA, came back up right at the level. And then you can see it rode it all the way down to the next level. Again, these levels are given out to our students the night before their next trading day endeavor. Again, that is the night before. So that's pretty much where it sat the rest of the day, and it closed net down from yesterday's close, hovering around 105.98, so $106 or so. Now gold, let's get into gold for us right there. Remember, gold's been moving a lot more frequently now as well. But we opened pretty much, I want to say, at the high from yesterday, if not a little bit above it, well above the close for sure. We opened up, came down, found support around that level. That, opening market of gold being volatile, any market when it first opens can be very volatile. Found resistance and then drove it down. And then it kind of just meandered, came back up, tested this level. It held phenomenally at those levels, and then it broke lower. This is the low of the day, well within inside yesterday's range. I believe the close was around there too from yesterday, and ultimately driving itself back up to test this level yet again. And they could not break out in either direction, so they were confined between that range. And we did close net positive for the day in gold, but we are now below 2,000. Well, almost. It's almost 2001 is at the price that it closed, but regardless, it is come back down from that, prior day. I don't remember what day it was, but where it got up to almost, $2,100 or so, just under that. But our equities, that's what we're mainly looking at here today for us. Not as crazy as it has been these past few days. It was actually pretty choppy today, with the movement just, I passed it, just bouncing around. But you can see the responsiveness at these levels. So we did open by default, gap down from yesterday. So the close was well above us. We never actually got there. I'll spoil that for you now. But we opened, found resistance right at that level. Who would have thunk it? These levels that we give our students out each night. Before their next trading day. And then it came back down, tested that opening low, found support, and they tried again, couldn't do it, and we just went sideways for a little bit before they tried to rally up, ultimately getting a bunch of people buying. You can see just the massive bar starting to accrue, and just a fake out where that seller they slammed all those little guys in the market that just don't know what they're looking at. And they drove that sucker down. They got below the low of the day and bounced off from that support as the selling faded away. And then they hit resistance at this level. And finally, they drove it down again for a huge move here before they just could not go any further and had to recover before they tried to come down again. So as they drove it back up, they tested that high again, that previous level that we had that was given out the night before. I gotta, how many times do I have to say this, guys? And then they made some good attempts at making another low, but they just couldn't quite get it. You can see the buyers stepping in there and just the volume picking up. And they got faked out again, but the strength of buyers was still up in there. And they ultimately made some newer highs for the day, finishing off with a new high of the day as well. So we did, by default, though, close net down. Our close was in the level above us, not terribly far away, but someone doesn't want to go there for some whatever reason. Doesn't matter, though, whatever that reason they may have is. It's all, monetary to them. But we did close net down. Now, Nasdaq, our micro Nasdaq here, again, similar story, except, we opened inside of yesterday's range. Nasdaq, as of late, is kind of just hasn't been moving as much as the other equities, especially the ES or S&P 500, as whatever you want to call it, has been really the one that's been moving around quite a bit lately. But we opened inside the range from yesterday, still gap down from the close. Initially, we got, instead of that upward movement, we technically did get an upward movement, but not really large. They just drove that down. The downside on the selling in the Nasdaq after it opened was much more than in the ES, and we found support where? At our levels that we give our students out the night before. How many times I have to keep saying this? But you can see how well that held. They do break it eventually. Same type of fake out with that buying before all those poor schmucks that bought into it just got liquidated, and the huge selling just took over and drove it down. They stalled out trying to break through these levels here. Again, it's becoming resistance, that area that was once support. And they did make some new lows. They tested them a couple times, as you'll see here, before they rally and come back up. Test that major resistance that was major support. And finally breaking through, making some new highs of the day just before the close. And then you can see that we still finished net down, as we never got back to the close or greater than yesterday's close. So net down in our equities. Choppy day for a good portion of, but still quite a few entries in these markets, or potential entries, I should say, because really you're the one that is the one executing, as we are only a education group here that teaches our methodologies to the students. It is always up to the students to execute for themselves. So if you are interested in finding out more information about how to trade or how you can get these levels onto your chart for your next day's trading endeavor, reach out to us. We are Target Trading Academy. You can go to our website at targettradingacademy.com or find us on Facebook and get in touch with a representative there, and they'll quickly show you the ropes of what we do in the rooms, and you might just see why we are the #1 trading education company in the world. We look forward to seeing you.